Have we been filming the entire time?
No, but I just started.
Here we go. All right. Hi, Chef Williams, back again. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move the cake. We're going to mask the sides. So you're going to take your palette knife and you're going to poke it into the bottom of the cake, underneath the white cake circle, and you're going to rotate that towards your hand. That motion is just to turn the turntable. The cake will naturally roll to your hand. And now we're going to pick it up and we're going to side mask. And to do that, a big old handful of the pecan and coconut mixture, and you're going to pack it in, and you want to roll forward. So you're using a little bit of pressure here, and this is why it doesn't matter if I can see cake through my icing. Okay, normally I go forward, I kind of went backward there. Pack it in and turn it. So we're going to go this way now. Don't drop your cake, that'd be sad. Try not to get too much on the top. It might happen, but it doesn't need to. All the way around. This to me is one of the best parts of this cake, is when it sits, it absorbs some moisture from the icing, turns into a big old candy bar.
Yummy.
It's delicious. I'm gonna wipe some of this off so I can use my turntable. I don't want to get that all over the bottom of my gold board. Not too much anyway. So then I put a little reverse tape circle on my gold board so that my cake doesn't slide around. Now we're going to put the cake back down on the gold board. To do that, you could balance your cake on your palette knife for a second. I know, freaks you out, doesn't it? Or you can just tilt the cake forward and touch down. Use your fingers to center it. Make sure you're well centered on your gold board. Ooh, don't stab your cake. The last thing out is the palette knife, not your fingers. So you're going to put the palette knife in, take your fingers out once you're centered. I think I am. And down. Okay, I thought I was. And down. Shh, nobody sees it. Okay, and that's it. But the last thing out is this. If you try to take your finger out last, you're going to sweep your finger up the side of the cake. Some of us have had that experience. Some of us have not. All right, now we need to mark the cake. You're going to sell this for 12 portions, so show the customer how they're going to get 12 out of it. You want to sell it for 16? Put 16 marks. We're going to put one mark at 12 o'clock, flip it around, put another one at 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Okay, so we're just doing the clock face, and then in between are 2. So you got to find a place for 2 in between, just 2. Try to space them evenly. Make your marks so they don't look like an accident. They're very noticeable because later on we're going to need that. Tammy, you want to get me a bag of the green and the orange? That one's a little off. I'll move him over when I pipe it on. Alright, so the next thing I need to do, pipe on some garnish. Since this is a carrot cake, we're going to make carrots. I know, it makes sense, right? I like to use my palette knife to practice that. For the carrots, we've already got some colored icing in there. We're going to take our knife, or our scissors, you could use a knife, and we're going to cut off just a little bit of a hole on the end, so that's flat. For our leaves, we're going to cut a leaf tip. Nobody buys leaf tips anymore, they make them. To do that, you just cut a V. A reverse V, as the case may be. Like that. Okay? That's the V, or bird beak, if you will. You can buy that tip from Wilton, or you can just cut it out of the bag. It's up to you. Now, for the carrot, I'm going to roll up the bag, I'm going to move the seams to the side, and I'm going to squeeze at a kind of a downward angle, and I'm going to let the carrot build out, and then I'm going to start to move. And I'm going to relax my pressure as I move forward. Whoop. Let me try that again. I'm going to squeeze so that the carrot builds out. I'm going to relax my pressure as I go, and that's how I make my carrots. Squeeze, pull, relax as you go, and then finish. I like the little ridges on there. Now, it's not much of a carrot without a little bit of green, so here I'm going to take the tip and I'm going to hold the points at the north and south. I'll put that big tip on the bottom. Again, give your bag a little twist, just so you got a little bit of tension on it. Then you come to the back of the carrots, and to make a leaf, it's just squeeze, touch, lift. Squeeze, touch, whoop, touch, lift. Helps if you're not using a greasy palette knife. Or greasy carrots. And I'll probably put 2 leaves on my carrots. 1 looks like an accident, 2 looks like it meant it. All right, so now we're gonna go on our cake, and I like to do these all at 9 o'clock, we'll say. Okay, so they're all this way and they'll all point to the middle. So when I squeeze it onto the cake, squeeze, build it up, relax your pressure as you go. And that's how big each of them is. And if I turn this, then I just keep making the carrots the same way. Notice I start back of the edge a little bit and let the carrot grow towards the edge of the cake a little. Okay, all the way around. And if you do this, they'll all point towards the center pretty well. If you try to work your way around the cake, they'll go kind of every different direction. You don't want that. And all my carrots going the same way. I know, you thought something was about to happen, didn't you, Ashley?
Yeah.
I gotta move, where do I go? All right, so I'll finish that later. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my leaf tip, just like I did before, my or my points at north and south, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Make sure you cover up the mark. Nobody needs to see the magic. I love these colors. They're nice and pastel. They did a great job mixing colors. I like my greens variegated. Just mix them lightly. These paste colors, it doesn't take a whole lot. Now, if I'm gonna sell this for a dessert cake, somebody's gonna take it home and cut it, I'm gonna go a little bit extra. If I'm gonna sell this to a restaurant and say you can cut this up and sell it for dessert, I won't do this because center garnishes never cut well. But I like to put a carrot right in the middle of my cake, and to do that, really build it up, and then take your leaf tip, put some leaves coming out the top, and then I'll take some carrot cake crumbs and I'll put them around the outside of the carrot so it looks like it sprouted out of the cake. It's so cute. Oh, everybody loves it. I gotta have one just because it's got that carrot on there. Good, sucker. No, I'm kidding. I know. All right? Everybody got it? I'm gonna go ahead and finish this while you get to this point. Take your cake, mask it, you're done with it. As long as you've got a relatively flat top, let's be done. We're gonna move on. We can come in and practice this on Plus Friday. We'll talk about that later on. Take what you got. Let's mask the side. Let's mark the top. Let's get some carrots on. We'll start cleanup.